welcome to my channel. My name is Ceesay. I am the owner of Ceesay Banjul. Basically, I wanted to start this YouTube channel to give people a behind the scenes look of me and how I'm growing my business and how I plan to take my business to the next level. So I'm a big YouTube person and I'm a big Googler, and I'm on YouTube all the time Googling, looking for other entrepreneurs, basically looking for people who are either building an online business or have a clothing store, and basically trying to see what they did wrong and what they did right, and trying to learn from their mistakes and seeing how I can, you know, look at them for inspiration. And I started noticing really there was not that many people out there, if not none at all, vlogging their experience from the ground up. The only person I remember like watching and really like following her as she like grew and blew up was Ming Lee. And I don't know if some of y'all, well, I think a lot of people know of Ming Lee, but basically she was one person that documented her thing and her business, and I basically felt like I grew with her and saw the mistakes she made and kind of learned a little bit from her. However, she does hair, and I'm on, like, you know, retail and beauty side, and that's kind of a different thing. I did, as far as marketing and everything, learn from her, but as far as like the ins and out of running an online store and clothing, you know, I wasn't seeing anyone out there that was doing it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start my own vlog just to give people, you know, a look behind what I'm doing, and hopefully that helps someone. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Oh, and by the way, I'm not no expert, so if I do something that worked for me and then y'all try it and it don't work for y'all, don't come to me. Don't come to me with that, because I barely know what the hell I be doing. So I'm just putting this out here to help people, and if you see something and it works for you, great. I'm glad I can help you. Just little stuff that I've learned on my way up that I feel like might help people or just might inspire someone who really had the passion for this. Now, I know, and it's killing me, like, having an online store is like the thing to do. Being a makeup artist is like the thing to do. Selling hair is like the thing to do. And I feel like right now we have all these scam teaks that are out here scamming people out of their money. And I went to school for this. I always wanted to own my own department store. And I feel like now it's like harder, like literally, y'all. I had one girl who kept emailing me back and forth. I feel like sometimes I'm fighting for sales due to these scam teaks. Just to like get her to trust me and like trust that I'm really like real and I'm not gonna scam her out her money and the things I sell is quality. She asked me, you know, if I can take a picture of me holding up the item and videos and stuff, just to make sure that the picture I'm posting is really what she's gonna get. And I honestly, like, truth be told, I cannot blame her for that, because shit, I'll do the same thing too. How many times you see it, and it's even the memes that are going around, like when you order it online versus when you really get it. And I feel like all of that is like hindering like people like me and other business owners who really have a passion for this and really want to do this, because nowadays with social media making the world so small, people are seeing like people who might had finances or might have a big social media following opening up these businesses and thinking it's easy because they're seeing them making money, and that is not the case. Like, that's why sometimes I don't even trip when I see more online boutiques popping up, because I feel like time will tell who really had a passion for this. Because once you realize that you're going to be spending a lot of money and you're not going to be living this fabulous life that you thought you was going to be living, and you're going to have to like really prioritize and not go on trips and not be able to buy stuff that you really want due to you financing your business, and seeing that a lot of times you're going to have to fight for sales, most likely people are not going to stay in it. Like, you can make more money doing anything else most likely than selling clothes. So I basically wanted to take you guys on a journey, and I wanted to start this the beginning off of just telling you the current status of my business so you guys will know, like, going into it. So I started my business in 2013. I was junior going into the senior year at Clark Atlanta University. My first inventory, I went to the America's Mart, which y'all gonna see later on in this vlog. I went to America's Mart. I got a couple of, you know, brands that I wanted to deal with. Bought my first inventory, built my first website. Started it then, was really going good in the beginning. I actually wasn't expecting, cause like don't do what I did, because when I first started, I didn't separate, which is the number one thing. When you first started, you get everything separate from your business. You get a separate business account, you get separate emails, all of that. In the beginning, I was like, well, you know, I'm just starting off. It's not like I'm Instagram famous or socially famous, like, so basically I know it's gonna be a couple of sales here and there. Probably in the beginning my friends supporting me. However, that was not the case, because years ago I had got in contact with Aaliyah J, and at that time, now Aaliyah J, like, if you guys know of her, now she's like big, but in the beginning I think she was like first starting off, or just had a couple thousand followers on YouTube. So we basically worked together, and I had sent her some clothes. I remember one time for a meet and greet, and then also some clothes where she did like some Instagram post on, and this was before I officially launched it. So when I launched my store, I had a lot of sales coming from her, and that was my first mistake. I didn't separate where my funds were going into. I didn't separate that. Like, I had it going into, I believe, like my checking account or my savings account. I was thinking like, well, it's not gonna be that hard for me to separate what I'm getting from my business from what I'm making, because it's only going to be few coming from my business. So at that time, I was not like being financially smart with it. So basically I was mixing my money. So that was the first mistake I made. But I started gaining, you know, a bit following from Instagram and everything. And then senior year came, I graduated, I was working, and I knew that I needed to work to fund my business, because I started seeing, just to give you an example, so if you go to the trade show, you meet a brand or whatever, and you look through their items and say you like this. You get this skirt and you like it. Basically, this skirt comes in a case. They usually start the cases off 2 smalls, 2 mediums, 2 larges, or 2 smalls, 2 mediums, 2 large, 2 extra large, depending on, you know, what size the brand offers. Basically, one case, like, just say like this one item might cost you $200. $200 for a case. Now, mind you, this is just one item. On a website, you need more than one item to sell. So just add that up, like, just to make your website look a little full, you need money. And this is just inventory, not your website, not the fees that you have to pay for, as far as like if you're taking PayPal or if you're taking credit cards. So all of that, I knew I had to fund my business. So I knew I had to have a job. So with all my business being a little bit bigger than I anticipated it for, especially starting off, I decided to do a whole revamp, because I made enough money where I can put, you know, a good bit amount into revamping my website and also revamping my store. However, I started a new job, and at that time I was working for Michael Kors, so it was just like so much into that job, and I kind of started slacking, and I was working on the revamp. So it ended up me taking basically 6 months off of my business, and I felt like, oh well, I you know, developed a good relationship with my customers, they're still gonna be there. Wrong, because right now with all the Instagram boutiques that are coming up, if you take even 3 days off, people is not going, they gonna forget about you. So when my interactions on social media used to be high, they start falling off. So I did the revamp, all of that, came back, and I was like, wait a minute, like, where my people's at? Like, where are the customers that I had these emails going back and forth with, that were messaging me, you know, saying they, like, I was like, where y'all at? Like, so I was kind of like, damn, like, did I take too long? I mean, of course I did. Now, keep in mind, this was years ago, so this is me not really knowing much, like, just going as, like, just taking everything in as it comes to me. So when I revamped it, like, my interaction went down, so I had to work on building it back up. So again, I was working with different people here and there. Like, I slowly start getting my interactions back up, and then my sales start coming in steady. Sales was good. I can't, you know, one thing that I feel like I was very blessed with, like, having my sales be steady for me to keep it going. So then I decided to leave Michael Kors, and I got this new job. This is recently, fast forward some years ago. So this was the beginning of 2016. So I was basically just so exhausted because I was putting so much time into work and other things, and me still trying to build my business. Mind you, this is all me doing it, emails, marketing. While I was doing all of that, I also got kind of sick, and it was some personal things that happened in the beginning of 2016. So with all of that, like, I just took, again, another break from my business. I kept everything on the website, so I was still getting, like, sales here and there. So, and I was still paying for everything to make sure, you know, I don't just completely shut it off. So I kept everything open, but again, like, that's the issue with only, you know, with you running your business by yourself. If anything goes wrong with you, like, it's like you don't have the pleasure, or you don't have the luxury of taking a break or having something going on that takes you off plan, because then your business suffers, and then you start all over. Like, every time it's starting all over. Anytime you take a break or you don't go as hard as you should, you gonna start all the way over. Like basically like you just never had sales, or you never built clientele. So went through some personal things in the beginning of the year, took that break. Literally, like, I wasn't doing any marketing, nothing. If the sales come, I was just shipping them out and all of that. So during that time, later on, I decided to leave Michael Kors, and I had applied for another job, and I got that. Once I got the new job, it was the whole moving in and all that stuff, and starting a new job, and me making sure, like, I kind of focus in some of the things, and that also had my business set back, because again, I was just like letting sales come in and not doing anything to increase sales or increase brand awareness. So that happened, and that's basically where I'm at, like, currently. Like, I'm in my new space. I started the new job, and I feel like now I'm getting a better footing with the new job. So it's like, I decided, I was like, okay, like, seriously, like, Sarah, like, get your shit together. Like, no more stopping, no matter what. Like, currently I'm trying to build a team, so if something happens where I need to, like, step back, my business does not suffer, because I have people in place to help me out. The only thing I know that is very important, that's taken me so long to find a team, is I know your team makes or breaks you. Like, if you don't have the right people around you who have you, your best interest or your business best interest at heart, then your business is gonna fail, because they're not gonna be willing and able to do what your business needs and what you need to have your business grow. Currently, I'm doing promos. I have a pop-up shop that I'm planning around March. I might change the date, I don't know yet. I'm planning a pop-up shop around March. I'm also planning, like, different brand ambassador programs, just to get myself once again back to all of this. I'm just trying to get back to where I was. Like, and then from there grow. You know, hopefully I can look back in the future and look back on this, you know, first blog and see how far I've came, and you know, just really be able to be thankful and humble about the whole experience. Because one thing I do know is I'm gonna goddamn make it all this damn money I done spent. So hopefully y'all see this and come on this journey with me and subscribe, and thank you. See you guys later. Bye.